Hey everybody, my name is Errol Shanefish. What is Business Central? How many of you started your day in Outlook this morning? You didn't? Oh, you did, okay. No hand though, just a nod, all right, I'm cool. Yep, everybody does. You as business owners and people in the IT department, etc. I as a marketing person, the first place I go in the morning is to Outlook. And so what I'm going to show you is how I heard the word infused the other day, and I thought that was a great word. How we have infused Business Central inside of Outlook so that you can be really, really productive really quickly in your day. And so I have a few examples. The first one is a request for a quote. I have an item further down where it's something from a vendor of mine. It's actually an invoice from a vendor. I have a new contact at an existing customer. I have an internal email from one of the salespeople asking for something. And so let's start with this one, request for a quote. Now, what would you normally do if you got a request for a quote in an email? You go somewhere else, you log into some other system, you get authenticated, you look up the customer, you start the process. Or even worse than that, you go to a Word document, you know you do it. Instead, what we've done here is context-sensitive, aware information at your fingertips right in Outlook. And this works in either the desktop or the web browser of Outlook. So I can see all the historical information of my customer including posted invoices of what they've purchased from me in the past. I can see the details of the items, at what cost, price, etc. All of that is available to me. So information is great, but I'm actually going to act on this. And what you'll notice is, again, it understood the context of this email, and it actually pulled in items from this text, and it said, hey, looks like they're referring to these items in your inventory. Do you want to add those to your sales quote? And so here, literally within, I don't know how many clicks I did there, 2, 3? Within 3 clicks, I have generated the quote, and I can send that off to the customer right here in Outlook. It's intelligent, it's embedded. Let's take a look at this. Here's another situation. I have an email from a salesperson asking me to add a 7% discount on a sales quote. And it actually understood the document number in this email. So down here in the email, you can see it highlighted there. It understood that document number, and as a result, surfaced that document number, again, right in Outlook. And so I can quickly go and add a discount to this particular transaction and then send it off. Easy. Here's a situation where I've gotten an email from a contact that's not in my system. And so I can choose to add them as a new customer or prospect, or add them to an existing contact. And so I can do that really quickly also in my Outlook calendar. At the same time, again, it's context sensitive. It understands that this is a vendor of mine in my financials. And so the types of things that are available to me to act on here is because it's a vendor. So I'm not doing a sales quote, I'm not doing a sales invoice, I'm doing purchasing things because it understands that. We also have connections to OCR services. So this had a document attached on here, and what I can do is, oh, that's way over in the corner. I can send that to my OCR service and have it processed to create a purchase invoice from that attached document. So a number of different things that you can do in Outlook, inclusive of even just if you create a new email with somebody's email address on there, and you can pull in the information and see that contact information there also. So, so that's kind of one scenario. How about mobile? So imagine that I went off to a meeting. While I was going to the meeting, I got a phone call, and that prospect that I sent a quote to, or customer I sent a quote to, called me and said, "Hey, Errol, we're golfing on Thursday. Where's my 5% discount, or I'm going to kick you in golf?" Which could very well happen. Believe if you've seen me golf before, it's very easy. And so what I can do is really quickly on my mobile device, go into the sales quotes area and pull up that last quote that we did, and then edit this on my mobile device, add a 5% discount, and I'm done with that. It's really quick and easy to do something like that in the solution. But what I wanted to do also is just kind of show you the ability. Most solutions, their mobile capabilities are sort of line of business, small little types of things that you can do. This is pretty much everything that you can do on our normal client, you can do on the mobile device. So I have access to all of my transaction entry areas. I have access to all of my charts, graphs, and KPIs, my accounts. I even have access to embedded Power BI that's in my solution for Dynamics 365 Business Central. And it occurred to me as I'm thinking about these quotes for this person, the London swivel chair was one of the items that was on that quote. And it occurred to me that I just want to take a look at my my inventory forecast for the London swivel chair. And I can do that on my mobile device. Now, what this is doing, this inventory forecast is using Azure Analytics to look at your historical sales, to look at what's on order, what's in your purchase order solution, what's in quotes, and it basically says, hey, if you do nothing, you're going to go negative quantities on this inventory. And so what I may want to do, this is probably the wrong place to act on that on a mobile device. So what I am going to do is actually I can share that out with somebody and sort of give them an action to do that from my mobile device. All right, so you're probably wondering, we've seen Outlook, we've seen mobile device. What does the actual solution look like? I'm just going to refresh here. First of all, again, it is part of the Office family of solutions, really. If you go to your Office homepage, you can see Dynamics 365 is there. It's in what we call the waffle. That's a waffle up here. I don't know. I didn't come up with that name. Some marketing guy did, exactly. Not this marketing guy, but some marketing guy did. So again, Dynamics 365 Business Central, 100% cloud. If you want to do that, you can do it on-prem also. But it delivers a full-featured solution. As I mentioned before, it has embedded Power BI. We give you a content pack out of the box that you can start with, and you can modify and add, etc. Expose Power BI in multiple areas. I'm going to do, just quickly, I have a couple of pending requests in my solution. So I'm going to take a look at this inventory forecast one that we had mentioned earlier. So again, if I do nothing with that London swivel chair, it's going to go negative, which is great. That's great information to have, but then what do you do with it? So let's create a purchase order from that information. So this is suggesting for me the purchase order quantity based off of this information. And at the same time, it actually says, hey, other items that you normally purchase from this vendor also look like they're going to go negative. So do you want to add those to this purchase order also? Again, it's an intelligent solution. So I can do that really easily, and now it has all of those items on the one purchase order. So that was one of my to-do list items. Let's take a look at one of the other ones. Go back to my home page. This one says change salesperson codes. So let's go there. So how many of you have heard of a product from Microsoft called Excel? Anyone? It's this little known product, I know. It's called Excel. And I'm not going to explain what Excel does, but I am wondering why this is taking so long. Oh, it's working on it. So we have about a number of what we call list pages. That's just term for any area where you have a list of like items, a list of vendors, a list of customers, etc. And you can not only sort of send that information to Excel, but you can edit those list pages in Excel, because we know, especially financial people, they love to work in Excel. I had the demo gods with me yesterday, but apparently they're not with me today. Instead, I'm just going to navigate there. Okay, go to the customer page. So here's my customer list page. Before I do this edit in Excel, I just wanted to highlight that we have embedded Power BI on list pages also. So as I sort of navigate from customer to customer, you can see that Power BI chart changes along the way and shows me information about those customers. But we wanted to edit in Excel. And so when you do that, again, this says, obviously you can't like change audit trail kinds of things. But in this case, if I wanted to change, I'm redoing my salesperson regions or something like that, I can do that in Excel. I can just pull it up in Excel, change the salesperson code, submit it back, and it updates Dynamics 365 Business Central. You can create general journal documents in Excel and have those brought into Business Central. There's really a number of different things that you can do there. Now, Business Central, as I mentioned, is an adaptable solution also. I'm just going to show you a couple of things as it relates to adaptability. First of all, you can personalize the solution. And personalization is sort of the look and feel, certainly of where things are, what items show up on what windows, etc. And so now I'm in a drag and drop editor of simply modifying the look and feel of Business Central. So I changed one of the locations of my Power BI chart. I can go back to my customer list and change what shows up there. So for instance, I want to add, let's add a field, credit limit, because I'm in accounting and I like to see credit limit. And then you can also change the individual forms. So in this case, I'm going to remove, I don't know what CFDI purpose is. I'm a marketing guy. I don't even know what that is. So I'm going to hide that. Or you can add items here also. So that's one way of personalization. Another way to have an adaptable solution is really the capabilities of adding on additional applications to the solution. And so in what we call extensions, so here's add-on solutions that I have on this particular tenant. So you can see a few things that I've added on here. I have a Shopify connector. I have, I QuickBooks payroll, file import, if you're doing that. There's some vertical solutions in here. And if you want to take a look at what's available, you can see this in the application itself. So these are all of the add-on solutions that third parties have built. Or you can just go to Microsoft App Source and search and restrict on Business Central to see all of the services and the additional applications that you can have there. Now, kind of the other way that you can also have an adaptable solution is, as I mentioned earlier, is how we can use the Power Platform, inclusive of Microsoft Flow, out-of-the-box connection, Power BI, obviously you've seen some of that, and Power Apps. And so without boring you too much, well, I'd really love to. Again, this is a hashtag if Errol can do it. I built this flow that basically takes a look at a new customer and it says, hey, if this new customer, if the credit limit is over $5,000, I want you to send an approval to someone. When that gets approved, I want to add a notice on the team site. I want to finalize having that as a customer in the solution and have the credit limit description set as high. And all of that can be done. It took me about 30 minutes because I really didn't know what I was doing to do that, because the connection is right there. You can see all of the Business Central stuff, connections to Microsoft Teams, connections to sending an email is all done through a Microsoft Flow.